Build this network on Scots with soul. The right buttons. Yeah, shitty intro away. How you doing, boys and girls? We've got DMviper making a return below me. And then we've got Maniset who stole my corner, and I'm pointing on the wrong directions because I'm usually doing where Maniset is.
What a cunt.
What an absolute cunt, stole my corner. And then right next to me, this way, is Anthony. How you doing, Anthony? Or Antony?
Happening.
Is the T in your name, or is the H in your name? Is it Anthony or Antony?
The T's on my name, the H isn't it?
The H isn't, fair enough, sound. But how are we doing this week? How are we all? Viper, how are you?
I'm alright. As you can tell, I am not in my natural surroundings.
His body's in Africa.
My body's... No, it's fucking not. Not anymore. My flight got cancelled.
Your holiday to Africa got cancelled, didn't it? Expected though, expected.
Well,
Maniset,
it's been postponed.
how are you, man?
Like Viper, I am in my natural surrounding. I'm doing good.
He said as I invited him to the call that he's like, I was running about mad fucking tidying up my room, man. So it's respectable. So you're not getting the honest view of the room here.
If you witnessed, I looked a bit there just to make sure everything else was kosher.
Made sure he'd cleaned the gear off the countertop.
No, well, you can't see that bit because of the webcam. I don't need to move that bit. Like, back a minute. Right, as I was saying.
Sorry guys, it was so as I sneezed on the screen there. Sorry. Anthony, how are you doing, son? Welcome.
I'm not bad. I'm no sober, but I'm alright.
Good shit, man. Good shit. We've been in Privileges podcast chat all day today, man. Like, I really like his new format. Like, what do you guys think of his new format of the podcast, where there's the three people doing the podcast, and they're in an open channel in the Discord. You join, and Captain Privilege will say, like, alright, if you already know, you join, you mute yourself. If you don't, he'll be like, quickly just mute yourself. We'll bring you in and stuff like that. What do you think about it, Manny?
I think it's actually a brilliant idea. It's more open forum. Like, it gives everybody a chance.
Much more inclusive, ain't it?
Aye, exactly. It gives everybody a chance. If you don't want to speak, you don't need to speak. But if you feel like you've got a quip or a retort or something you just want to say and get your opinion heard, then
I mean,
you're
like,
more than welcome to.
I really like, see, for a podcast, right? I think like you need to be taking inspiration from places like, see, your popular radio shows and shit like that.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? And that's why the reasons,
exactly.
like, see, I know it's no real radio anymore, but see the real radio football phone-in thing? It's still gone on the same fucking like frequency and stuff like that. That's still gone. And why the reasons is because people feel included. Do you know what I mean? They can. How many times have you been listening to phone in, man, and fucking there's just some cunt. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Do you know what I mean? And that's why people love it. Do you know what I mean? Because they feel, oh, I'll listen to this, get to hear like my opinion, other people agreeing with me, get to hear the other side of the story and that. And also, if I really want to go and fucking get my point heard, your point can get heard. So I do really like the idea of that. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I don't know how we'd fit it into yours with the camera. Maybe we could like have three people and then one camera always just sitting vacant, like one square vacant.
And then just like invite them in one at a time.
And you can cycle people in. What do you think about something like that? You think that'd be
something like a guest camera sort of thing.
Aye, so as people could jump on, hi, do you know what I mean? Like, check out my channel or whatever, say whatever the fuck they want, and they've got their 5 minutes, 10 minutes or whatever with their own camera ways.
It could work, but on the other hand, it could be like Discord Russian roulette. You never know what's going to be on the other end of that camera.
But that's why the things, I like to talk to people a good bit before I actually invite them on the podcast, do you know what I mean? So as you're not going to get that fucking bombshell dropped on you, do you know what I mean? Like, somebody going after rails and going a wee bit mental, do you know what I mean? Because you need to, there's also, like, the thing that worried me about Privileges podcast is I was like, are people going to adhere to that? Or are people going to just, try and talk at the one time? But I was there for most of the podcast today and it didn't happen. Do you know what I mean? It didn't happen. It's the same as, have you heard of these shared space roads that they're talking about? You've heard of them, Antony?
Yeah.
I really like the idea of them as well. See, like, if you've ever seen, like, the one that I know is Hamilton Town Centre. You can drive up Hamilton Centre in your car and people can walk down it. It's just cobblestone all the way down. You can drive and walk at the same time. And see the drivers, see when you're in an area where there's traffic lights and stuff like that, the traffic lights tell you it's safe and not safe and stuff like that. But see when you're in a shared space zone, the driver is so much more careful because he knows that Karen's walking about with a pram. Do you know what I mean? So drivers, it's like they've tried it in a few places and it really does work, man. But it's kind of like that. That's the concept of that the day was kind of proven in Privilege's podcast. Do you know what I mean? It's that shared space. Don't talk at each other. Only one person can be gone on the road at one time, and that, fair enough. You always get some people trying to talk as the other guy's finishing and stuff like that. That always happens. But I really enjoyed that today. So maybe doing the three cam with the one cam sitting spare, that might be a good idea.
That's it.
We should open up a voicemail so people can like submit questions. That'd be funny.
Mm-hmm.
But like, say, hiya, it's Peter 23 from Paisley.
Don't Royston.
My question is towards COD8MYdog. What kind of fish did your dog eat?
And it was the fish that ate the dog, mate.
No, it wasn't.
But changing up the podcast and trying to make it a wee bit more inclusive, I think is always a good idea. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what we want to be. Because we're going to be changing it to a Friday night real soon as well. Me and Viper's been talking about that quite a lot. How the Sunday night is over the past, see when we first started the podcast up almost 2 years ago now. It was dead easy because IndiScots was young. It was dead easy to fill the 4 people slots, right? But the way people were viewing the podcast was, I've been on it before, somebody else can go on. And that's fine, right? But see when everybody's been on and everybody's got that opinion, you're like, there's just me and Viper. Do you know what I mean? So, trying to get people to come back on the podcast on a rotation is, I think, something that'll be better. And I think one of the reasons that we weren't getting people is because it was a Sunday night. Do you know what I mean? Getting into the start of the week's hard for people. So Friday night, early on a Friday night, just before we all play games together, I think that's a good idea. Because it'll give stuff to fucking joke about and that when we play Jackbox.
Aye, definitely.
Any news caught your attention in the news or anything? Any games coming out that you want to talk about?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, for anybody watching who also has a PC, Sega, as a thank you for staying at home during this full COVID-19 pandemic, they are offering Shogun Total War 2 for free, and that starts tomorrow.
Is that a Total War game?
Yes.
I know it says Total War, but I take it as Japanese warfare? Samurais.
Samurai.
Oh, dude, that sounds good.
That's Total
Is
War
it a
Shogun
free
2.
trial or free?
No, free.
Oh, I might need to
I mean,
get
I've
one of
already
those
got
accounts.
I've already got Total War Warhammer 1 and 2, and the last time I played it, it was when my mate came down. And before that, I'd never played a Total War game. I had no idea what to do, but he did. That's why he came down. And he just he looked at me and he was like, mate, with management skills like that, you should have looked for a job at Aston Villa. And I was like, I swear to God, I'm going to turn around and hit you.
Mm-hmm.
I was just sitting there like, how dare you?
I've known you for less than a week now, right? One thing I know is you like Warhammer the same as me, and any time I mention it, you always go to the Horus Heresy. Do you know that the Black Library are writing short stories to flesh out the Horus Heresy?
I did not.
They're doing different short stories. See how the Horus Heresy's it's kind of overarching. It doesn't get into detail at any one point. Well, they're writing a whole bunch of short stories. There's some of them that's even written. And
chain it all together.
And give you more lore and stuff like that for the background. That's all coming out now.
I still need to catch up in the lore. I first became interested in Warhammer when I first played Dawn of War. Dawn of War was my first Warhammer game.
That's the one that's kind of like Command and Conquer.
Aye, pretty much. Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War, you basically play as the Space Marines, the Imperium of Man. And they had all sorts of DLCs for it, expansions. Favourites probably Dark Crusade, which let you play as the Necrons.
Ah, the Necrons. Getting your soldiers killed just to watch them revive themselves straight after.
They're just so OP, just watching them in action. You just sit there, let them attack, and if they die, they just get back up in 5 minutes. Just, don't worry, he'll come back when he's tired.
In Warhammer, there's a lot of mirrors to real life, and it covers a lot of what ifs. And see the Necrons, then they never talk about dinosaurs in Warhammer, right? But the Necrons, they say that they're 65 million years old. And that's how long ago it was the dinosaurs were here.
Yeah.
And they went into like stasis sleep 65 million years ago. Can you imagine if the dinosaurs just woke up? Of course they'd be OP. Do you know what I mean?
It's been that long we didn't have to prepare for dinosaurs because we thought we were never coming back. So you're just like, when the day comes, you're just like...
And that's what the Necrons, isn't it?
If this whole pandemic has taught us anything, right, it's when you don't prepare for something and it actually happens, you don't know what to do. So therefore, we should be preparing for this. We should be preparing for the dinosaurs returning. I want a dino squad. I want dino ranger. I want crisis suits. I want swords bigger than me for when I go monster hunting. Like, I want the whole shebang
swords,
because
do you know what I mean? Fucking jetpacks.
And even then, like, you know,
See, it's funny that you actually
a second heart. Do you know what I mean?
It's funny you mentioned monster hunting there because I recently, I'm a huge fan of Monster Hunter. It's just something about battering something bigger than you. It's satisfying. You see this thing and it's like 12 times the size of you, and you're sitting there like with a wee sword, and you're just like, right, come ahead. And I remember when I first downloaded Monster Hunter World and I first came toe to toe with the Anjanath. Now, for yous, what's the word? Unlearned? No, not unlearned. That's
plebs.
I mean, I was going for the polite way of doing it. For you, uninitiated. That was it. Uninitiated.
The unwashed.
The unwashed.
For the guys who don't know about the Anjanath or Monster Hunter World, basically the Anjanath is a 20-foot tall, fire-breathing T-Rex. Now, me walking around the jungle looking for this thing, I didn't know what I was looking for, and then it came across me, and I was just like, "So that's."
Think you're more when you're out past the streetlights coming on.
Aye, exactly. Like, I just kind of looked at it and went, right, I'm just going to go in the opposite direction. I'm
not going home tonight. I'm going to my grand's. Gran, can I stay the night? My mum's raging.
Aye, that was my go-to, like just straight to the grand. And then she would phone your man. You're just like, Matt, why would you betray me like this?
you just see her put down the phone and it's in slow motion. Just as she pulls down, you just look down. And you're just like,
what to say?
As the door gets belted down and you see your angry mum screaming like a dinosaur, like with a belt over her head about to whack you across the face with it.
But what about you, Anthony? I take it you don't know much about Warhammer then.
No, I just play COD, mate. Play COD. I mean,
you always need to learn. You always need to learn that the greater good is always there, and then you're fine with Warhammer. Just go for the greater good. You're fine.
He's thought about.
I mean, I've been playing a lot of Fallout, but I'm not really getting to grips with it. And every time I play it, I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake, man! Like, just rage quit the game. Every time I get killed, just rage quit the game.
Every time you load the game, it crashes. Every time you try and load a save, every time you try and fast travel, it quits your game.
Oh, you know, I've heard this fucking past couple of days sitting in a chat with Antony Man is fucking Scots beast cat.
Oh no, that was Troll actually.
Oh, was that Troll them all? Sorry, my apologies.
Troll's playing 76. That's where the Scots beast originated from. The one that Antony's playing is Fallout 4.
Ah, right, playing Fallout 4, building the bases. Nah, it can be really addictive, but can't it? I've played that.
One of the things that was so annoying.
I swear to God, if you say Preston Garvey, I swear.
One of the things that like really annoyed me was I was in the beta for Fallout 76, and I got some really cool pictures of like me and the Mothman and like me and like facing off other enemies. Like, and the one thing that really annoyed me was when they released the full game, they wiped everybody's photo gallery. And it was like, do you know how many cool pictures I found of like so many ghouls chasing me like this? Like
they were like burn all evidence of all bugs with fire.
But keep the bugs in.
Fallout 76 was a fucking buggy mess, man.
Anyway, just to trigger him, we interrupt this podcast to tell you that there's another settlement that needs your help, and I've marked it on your map.
For God's sake.
On Discord even. No, but it was actually what I found interesting is about this full pandemic mess. The CDC a few years back actually used World of Warcraft to find out how a pathogen spreads and creates an epidemic.
Oh, really?
Basically,
Because it happened in the game, though.
The CDC is basically American governing body for health and stuff like that, ain't it?
Yeah, it's the American World Health Organization.
Complete delusional cunts. There you go.
All that. So what happened was they introduced this new big bad boss, and this boss had an ability that caused you to basically, if you get afflicted by it, it caused you to blow up within 5 seconds, right? You couldn't cure it, so it was basically just a slow death.
It was just you had enough time to fucking fear the death, and then it happened.
Thing is, though, it was a complete accident as to how it happened.
It was
what
accidental.
happened? Yeah, it was was it the familiar of one of the guys,
basically,
right?
they had familiars where you can summon a pet, basically. And what they didn't realise is if you take that pet and that pet gets affected by this curse, you can put the pet away and it keeps the curse and it doesn't hit the timer. So it freezes the timer. So what people were doing is they were getting into big, massive, like they were getting into Stormwind, they were getting into the capital of the Horde, and they were just bringing out the familiars and unleashing hell. Now the thing I forgot to tell you about this curse is if you exploded, anyone in your vicinity captured the curse as well. So imagine what happened if you went into an alliance stronghold or like the capital again of the Horde, where all of the players are.
Wait, is this a
CDC
experiment you're talking about?
No, this
happened.
Oh, this was just a bug. Right. Okay.
Right. Okay. They actually took in for study, and basically what happened is this was back when you get corpse animations, and one of the GMs logged in and took screenshots, and it was literally just a city of bones, just corpses all the shop. Like they went into the house. And
there was clerics working 24/7 to heal people. Genuinely, they were just sitting there casting heal spells.
It basically turned the full place into a crisis centre. They committed virtual genocide, and seeing how that happened, I'm just like.
Glaswegian BL's asking in chat, Tony, are you standing, or are you sitting in the edge of that bed?
No, that's just me standing.
Oh, no, he's standing.
Nobody's asked Jet about the fucking the jumper that he's got as a light shade, man.
He got a jumper. It's over his light. It's up there because he says his light is too fucking bright. He's got a jumper.
Oh man. But free games this week. I noticed that XCOM 2 is free on Steam this week. We'll have a wee look and see what else is free this week.
Is that just for the week, or is that?
It's just for the week. Like I was saying to Privilege earlier in the private chat, it's not one of those games you could get. Well, you could get it for the week and enjoy it, but you want to play it more. Do you know what I mean? And you'll not be able to complete it.
I've got XCOM 1 on the PC and I've got XCOM 2 on my PS4.
You mean XCOM Enemy Within?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I tried to play XCOM 2 on PS4.
It's musical fucking cheers on the podcast tonight. Anthony's camera dropped out and we all switched places. Wee! Oh, we're back.
No, what?
We're back.
No, I'm in God's corner. I'm in God's corner.
No, you're no. You're singing. You're in my. Yes. The disappointment as it switched back, man. Oh, man.
I know,
mate. Too many numbers. That's what I said as well. Definitely no fire hazard. That light on that jumper on the light. Just keep an eye on it, right, guys in chat. Keep an eye on that jumper, right. If you see any fucking smoke coming for it, don't say anything, right.
That's a £500 jumper as well. It better not smoke coming for it.
It's his best jumper on the light.
Well, not my best fan, but it's a jumper.
Tony looks so awkward because we were talking about Warhammer for like 5 minutes. And he's just sitting there like that. I don't know what they're talking about. I have no idea.
I'm like fucking 5 cans in now, man. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm going to look up free games. That's what I'm going to do.
We've got free games with. I don't know if any of you guys have Amazon Prime. For you guys out there that have Amazon Prime, they've got a games with Prime sort of thing, which is basically just games we go to the Xbox or PSN games for free. This month's selection is Old School Musical. No idea what that is.
It's like New School Musical, but it's the old one.
It's the old school.
Yoro and the Celestial Elephants, Light Matter, Etherborn, and the one that actually stood out to me straight away was they're doing the original Turok for free, which was an amazing game and one you should play for the incoming Dino Crisis Viper.
Definitely.
Cathy Rain and Earthlock. Earthlock is a turn-based RPG, much akin to like Final Fantasy, with like a few tweaked mechanics and graphics.
Epic, thank you GameSpot. Check this out, man. GameSpot fucking delivering. Big list of fucking marked out. This was published on the 24th, so this was published 2 days ago, so they'll still be available. Free games on PS4, Uncharted, Nathan Drake Collection, Journey, and Pac-Man Championship Edition 2. The PS Plus games are Uncharted 4 and Dirt Rally 2. Xbox, Crackdown 2, 2 Human, and Pac-Man as well. Xbox Live Gold is Knights of Pen and Paper, Project Cars 2, and Turbox Turbos. What's the crackling on the new? What's the crackling, man? That was somebody's mic was really bad.
Thank you, Grant.
I know the bonnet is prime, ain't it, man? It's fucking prime, and he suits it as well. There's no many people can pull off the bonnet.
That's because I've got a body, man. Like if you've got hair, you can't pull off a bonnet. You know.
I know. I've got a bonnet hair there, but like, I've got hair, and I can't pull it. See right here, I've got a fucking cyst, right? It's totally it doesn't cause me any bother. It's fucking no bother, right? But like, it's massive. It's like fucking that big at my head. And see if I had to be bald, cunts would just be like, what the fuck is that, man? Do you know what I mean? So, but I don't think I'll ever go bald, man. My dad's fucking 56-year-old, and he's still got a massively full head of hair. My granda lived to
well,
was
you
like
almost
75.
Went bald during the...
What? Sorry?
You
I almost went bald during the fucking Game Blast, that's right. When Yaldi was cutting my hair for Game Blast, that's right. That was
Believe
dangerous.
it or not, he was actually the last person to give me a haircut. And, like... I mean, it doesn't look horrendous, but it's probably worse now that it's grown out. But, like... Speaking of that, if anyone knows any good hairdressers that are still open during this time, I'd love to not look like I'm a member of Jedward.
Yep, hang on.
Fiverr doing Asda.
That's it, he's not wanting.
Yeah, I need this. Just...
As I say to them, you're wanting, man, I've got a set tee, and sometimes I've just cut my hair myself as well, like, fuck it.
Like, I got a trial set from that Dollar Shave Club, and I wanted to try the razors out because I shave my head regularly, and they're probably the best razors I've had. Like, it just glides.
I didn't realise we were sponsored this podcast.
This is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
This isn't a sponsor, just a fan.
But aye, free games on PC, there's a lot of different fucking free games on PC.
All sorts of free games on PC.
I know. Good Old Games, there's a lot of free games in Good Old Games.
Oh, I've got GOG.
Aye, GOG, aye.
GOG account.
I mean, like, does any stick out to you? None really stick out to me, but
Humble Bundle's always really good for, but it's not really free. You need to pay, but you always get like a lot of bang for your buck.
Turok's free on Twitch Prime. Who remembers Turok, man? Fucking N64 days. Aye, Turok, the fucking dinosaur hunter, man. That was quality.
Everything's about dinosaurs right now. It's like they're hinting something.
Free Stadia games. Who's gonna get Stadia for fucking some free games?
Oh look, there you go. You've got a book. Humble are doing a Warhammer 40,000 book bundle.
Ooh.
Yep.
Give me a second. It is the series starters by Black Library.
Nice.
$206 worth of stuff, and the maximum payment required to get everything is £12.
Humble Bundle's doing that.
Yep, hang on, I'll send a link in the Twitch chat so everybody can have a little swatch at it.
Yes, please, man. Yes, please.
2 seconds, lads. The dog is using my laptop as a pillow right now.
And hey, Papa Man Bear, how you doing, man? Welcome, dude.
Well, that link went well. I'm in mod view. It didn't even pop up.
Why did the link go bye-bye?
Hang on, I'll put it in the...
I think we might know I changed the mod settings back since we were live on Twitch main page.
Oh, this one's for you, Grant. Wait till you see this one. Wait till you see this builder.
I just had a look through the block terms we've got in the channel again, and I completely forgot that I put Ben Affleck.
So you did put Ben Affleck as a banned term in the channel. 2 seconds, copy that, enlarge
Glory
that.
to our Scots.
there's the link there for the Humble Bundle. Let's go have a
That's
look at
probably
it.
a grand hour.
The Russian hats,
That's
mate. The
so
Russian
much.
hats are quality in the winter time, ain't they?
Oh, I know, brilliant. Oh.
I will say, right,
Big Grant with
my-
it, yes!
my trip to Africa has been postponed till December, right? But for them, like where I'm going, it's their summer. So I don't know how I'm going to deal with the fact that I'm going to be leaving here in probably -3 degree weather, arriving going to be 36 degrees, and then coming back 3 weeks later to -3 degree weather. I'm going to die.
But Viper, check this out.
And,
Check
like,
this out on a Humble Bundle. Look what it is. Look what the books are. Look what it covers.
The reason I really like Humble Bundle is because all the money goes towards a good cause. If you
Aye,
look down at the
aye.
bottom, it says charity. That's the charities that they support with that bundle.
Can you Humble
that's not the
Bundle?
only bundle they've got.
Can
They've
you not
got
choose
11
the
bundles
charities
going.
like you used to be able to do?
I don't actually know. I've not done it for a while. You've got the 2K. You've got Dungeons and Dragons.
Ooh, wait.
I mean, but look at this, right? Pay £1 or more to also unlock Yarick, Commissar fucking Yarick for Hive World Necromunda. That whole fucking thing. You've got, don't know who that is, but you've got Sanguinius, Blood Angels, Fabius Bile. Fabius Bile's fucking the guy who's trying to recreate like Primarchs and stuff, clone them and shit like that. The Devastation of Baal.
Oh, we've got a special guest. Not mine, away.
Oh, was that the Doug? Aye,
Oh,
but
alright.
you've got Salamanders, like Emperor's Legion. Mate, that looks really good. I'm
I mean,
totally got
there's
to
a
do that.
good one, right? Pay £16 or more on the 2K bundle, right? And you get, and this is a full list of everything you get for paying 16 quid. NBA 2K20, WWE 2K20, XCOM Enemy Unknown Complete Edition, Borderlands Game of the Year Enhanced, Borderlands The Handsome Collection. You also get NBA 2K Playgrounds 2, Bioshock The Collection, Sid Meier's Civilization 3, the Golf Club
Civ
2019,
3, man.
Spec Ops The Line, Sid Meier's Pirates, Carnival Games VR, and The Darkness 2.
I bet you Civ 3's no aged well, man. I bet you that's a horror show to play.
Probably.
I love Civilization bit, man. I've played it for years. Like, I used to play Civ 3 and all that, man. Civ 4. Civ 4 was really good. Civ 5 was the one that changed the hexagons. And then Civ 6 plays more like a board game than it does a video game, man. Civ series is brilliant. I'm so
They've also
addicted
got
to it.
they've also got a game dev bundle on offer. Are you like budding game developers out there?
I'll host a stream then. I'm going to bounce out, troops. Got to finish this video. No worries, Grant, man. Cheers for stopping by, dude.
Yeah. See
If you
later,
get your
man.
video finished, man, before 11, we're going to be playing like Cards Against Humanity and stuff, so drop in if you can. But if you can't, have a good night and have fun editing, dude. So aye, there's a fucking whole bunch of free games. Do you know what I mean? There's free games
Yeah.
everywhere. Everybody's jumping on bandwagons and stuff like that. Like, that new XCOM game came out. It's supposed to be 16 quid. Steam have done it half price. You can get it for 8 quid up to the 1st of May. Do you know what I mean? It's a wee mini
It's because
XCOM
these
game.
companies know that they're just getting a shit ton of money now.
Nah,
They're just
Aye.
like,
also,
oh,
the,
and everyone's indoors, so what are they going to be doing?
the PS4 big in Japan sales back as well. That was quite a big sale. Like things like Final Fantasy. I'll put it this way: they'll get Resident Evil 2 Deluxe Edition down from 45 to 20.
Oof.
You've also got like
Aye,
Dark
is-
Souls 3 Deluxe.
What is the Resident Evil Deluxe Edition? What's that consist of?
Resident Evil 2 Deluxe Edition gives you, if I remember correctly, the Leon costumes, the Claire costumes, the deluxe weapons, and the
So it's just
soundtrack.
basically all cosmetics unlocked as well. Pretty
Aye,
much.
pretty much. You've also, like I said, you've also got Dark Souls 3 down to £13. And that's the deluxe edition as well.
Anybody here played the new Resident Evil 3?
Yes.
What'd you think it?
I thought it was absolutely fucking terrifying.
I thought it was really good.
Nemesis just puts the fucking wad in, you're just like,
But like, I played it on stream, right? And I played it for maybe 2 hours or something, and then somebody told me about how the dodge existed. I'd see as soon as I knew the dodge existed, it took all tension out of the game when the Nemesis was there, because a perfectly timed dodge means he can't hit you.
aye.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if you're dodging the right direction, the wrong direction. Do you know what I mean? Like, you time that dodge as you're meant to, your character will automatically go into a perfect position away, and if you press the aim button, will aim at exactly at the crit spot. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I really think that took all the tension out the game. I think without that, and there's the other bit, see by the bit where you're defending the hospital, where they're coming in as the shutters are coming down.
Yeah.
I didn't like that bit as well, because there is no horde mode in Resident Evil. The game is a horde mode. Do you know what I mean? When have you ever had to stand and defend a bit in Resident Evil? It's very un-Resident Evil.
Like, a lot of people did say that it didn't feel like a Resident Evil game. It felt quite rushed, as if they were trying to cash in on the full remastered thing.
Well, they are. They're
But at the end
making
of the-
Resi 4 now.
What did you say, Antony? Sorry, he's not spoken a while. Give him a chance.
Well, I don't know anything about Resident Evil, mate.
Oh, right. I thought you said something there and somebody cut you
No.
off. Sorry.
It was very
But aye, the new one's really good, and you're right, Viper, they are kind of cashing in on it. Do you know what I mean? Like, Resident Evil 2 came out, everybody's like, yay! And they were like, okay, we'll have a fucking another one ready as soon as we can. Do you know what I mean? Because Resident Evil 3 is basically Resident Evil 2.5. Because I don't know if you know the original story, how Resident Evil 3 was made. When they were making Resident Evil 2, there was people who were, I think they were either sacked or they were off sick when this was all happening, and they made their own wee version of Resident Evil, and it was only a tiny wee version where the Nemesis chased you, and that's how they put the Tyrant in to the original Resident Evil 2. The Tyrant only ever appeared in the B run, and they put that in later when they found out that these guys, how cool the Nemesis would be. And then in Resident Evil 3, that's why Resident Evil 3's always been shorter, and it's always, do you know what I mean? Like, it reuses assets and stuff, because they were just kind of poking about having fun, and they just put a Nemesis in it and reused some assets, changed some camera angles on different places.
One thing I was pleasantly surprised by with the full the Resident Evil 3 remake wasn't even Resident Evil 3, it was the multiplayer thing you get with the game called Resistance. I was genuinely surprised at how good that was. Like, it was basically, I don't know if
It
you've
died
ever
a
played
really
games
quick
like,
death, though, man. It died a really quick death.
Yeah, which is a shame, because it is a really promising game. It's basically, I don't know if you've played games like Dead by Daylight or Friday the 13th. It's basically just killer versus survivors, but the way they've done it is a lot smarter. It turns one person will be an third person shooter, like horde zombie survival, but the person playing as the killer, it plays as like a real time strategy. You have to place zombies, traps, you have to place the Tyrant, you can place Graham Birkin, you can control them, you can control the zombie, you can get in the field and try and hinder them, and basically it's a race against the clock.
Have you got this in PC?
PS4.
Oh, you've got it in PS4? Fuck. Because it died a really quick death. There's nobody on the servers or that, right? But it's not going to stop us from getting a team together, enough people to play it. But I don't have it on PS4. It would only be PC that I would be able to play it on. Yeah. But it's one of the ones that I would like to try. I would like to try it.
It would be a really good game if it is just a group of pals playing. Like, the amount of hilarity that me and my mates had a full lobby together, and the amount of hilarity we had. Because, like I says, it's a race again. You've got a certain amount of time to escape the facility. And for each time you get injured, for each time you get trapped, or for each time you get killed, seconds get took off the clock. But for each thing you kill, each trap you destroy,
time
each
gets added on.
you complete, time gets added. And you can collect umbrella credits throughout the game, which let you buy items inside that round or inside that instance.
As the various says in chat there, that Code Veronica was also meant to be 3 originally. Nemesis was initially going to be more of a side story. That's also true, but I didn't play really Code Veronica. I don't know all the lore behind Code Veronica. It came out for GameCube, didn't it? And it came out as a platinum for PS2, I think.
Do
you know what I mean? Didn't come out to PS2 for much later, and I didn't have a GameCube, so I didn't play it. I bought a GameCube for the remake of Metal Gear Solid when they brought that out in the GameCube, man. I was like, yes, Metal Gear Solid 1 with decent graphics,
See, the favourite thing, like, what I like more about Resistance more than Dead by Daylight or like Friday the 13th is it actually gives you a chance to fight back. Like, there's a character that, if you're playing as the mastermind, that's what's known as the killer in this sense. You can only see through cameras. so you can only switch cameras to see where they are. So it's basically you're playing as Five Nights at Freddy's. You're playing Five Nights at Freddy's, and they're the animatronics.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mate, see when I
one of my
first played Five
favourites-
Nights at Freddy's, man, holy shit, that game. It's so simple, but it
I
just...
know. It's a simple aspect, yet equally terrifying.
It terrifies you, see, because you know that you cannot ever lock down. You cannot ever, like, just lock the place down and be safe. Do you know what I mean? That in order to be safe, those doors need to be opened. Do you know what I mean? And in order to, like, and you need to look away from them. That's the thing. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. It's like, it's the whole thing, like, you'll hear people talking about when they're writing stories and stuff like that. Why the good, like, ways to write a story is put two people at a table, but show the audience the bomb under the table. You just created tension. Do you know what I mean? And, like, people know there's a bomb with a ticking that's fucking got a 5-minute timer or that, and people at the table don't know, and it's instantly you've created tension. It's the same idea as that, man. Do you know what I mean? But
if you were to pick your all-time favourite game, console, PC, whatever, what would it be?
Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear Solid. That was quick right after that.
Metal Gear Solid, the series. I don't have a particular one in it. If you'd make me choose a particular Metal Gear Solid, I'd probably choose Snake Eater, because that's the one with the most character.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's the one where you go back in time and you're the big boss, no Solid Snake, the guy that they were all cloned for and stuff like that. It's the one they wrote a James Bond-esque theme tune for. Still in a dream, Snake Eater. Do you know what I mean? It's got so much character. It's such a good game. Metal Gear Solid is my favourite game series by far. What about you,
Tony?
Mafia 2, definitely.
Mafia games?
Mafia 2.
Oh, Mafia 2 was
Mafia,
phenomenal, man.
Mafia 2, the soundtrack for that game, oh my god.
It was a work
Brilliant,
of art.
amazing. The storyline was amazing as well. Joe, the side character Joe, oh my god, he was so funny. Some of his punchlines was, oh my god, it was just...
Like, if Oscars could be given for supporting actors in video games, he would get it.
I like the line. One of the lines that I can remember is like, it's a pickup line. It's like, "Hey, is that a mirror in your pocket? Because I can see myself in your pants." And it's one of the funniest lines
So we got
I've ever heard.
This was during like the
That's quite good.
So chances are that was the first time that line was used. And for me personally, it's got to be like, I was discussing this with Tony the other day. It's got to be Elder Scrolls 3 Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind.
Aye, yeah, Morrowind's a
Morrowind,
terrific
hands
game.
down. It was my first introduction into the Elder Scrolls series. And
They're games I've never played. They're games I've never played.
You've never played them?
I've never played any Skyrims or Elder Scroll games. No.
I wouldn't start with Skyrim. Like, Skyrim is it's a masterpiece, right? But it's came to a point where everybody's overhyped it to the point that if you play it, you will like it, but you won't like it as much as you were expecting.
I don't see, like, I don't like the fantasy genre. See that fantasy genre, dragons, and do you know what I mean? Like, I like to call it historical fantasy. Do you know what I mean? There's no modern technology. It's set back in the day. I don't like historical fantasy. Sci-fi fantasy, geez it. Do you know what I mean? But like, I don't know. I've never been able to get into historical fantasies, and that's one of the reasons. Like, I know I'd probably enjoy Skyrim. In fact, I'll tell you, I've played Skyrim. I played Skyrim for fucking 10 minutes, and I played it at Insomnia, right? And it was at this the VR place, and these new things for your legs, so as you could move your legs.
Like an exoskeleton sort of thing.
Aye, and it was to detect your leg movement, right? But they were only rigged to move you forward, right? So see, when this guy was running at me, and I didn't know the controls, I'd never played Skyrim before. Right, and these cunts are running at me, man. I'm like, fuck, where I go today? And I'm trying to run backwards, and my character's running towards them. I'm like, and see, because my character's running forward, it just caused me to run back even more. And I forgot that I was connected all the wires to the PC and all that. The fucking guy's pure grabbing me, man, trying to grab the PC before I pull it off the fucking desks and all that.
Like, I know that.
It's not going backwards. It's not going backwards.
It's the he wishes Square Enix would do Final Fantasy VI. Yes, so do I. The story for Final Fantasy VI was phenomenal. And I noticed that Falk also says Elder Scrolls is set at Fallout. Now, I know he's saying that jokingly, but there was actually, for a long time, a running sort of conspiracy theory within like, the Elder Scrolls fandom that this was like a what-if scenario where if the bombs fell, there was all sources of life were destroyed, but they somehow managed to recover. And they discovered, like, they had abilities like fire, magic, and all that, and it was because of the nuclear radiation had seeped into their DNA, and that's what created the Elder Scrolls.
Like, Viper, we'll go back to what's your favourite game series as we round that off?
Oh yeah, definitely.
My favourite game is Skyrim. You were always sitting like shitting on Skyrim, and I'm just like.
But see, as you were talking about that there, like the crossover and that, the possible crossover between like Fallout and Skyrim and Elder Scrolls and stuff. Are you familiar with The Witcher? Did you play The Witcher? Anybody here play The Witcher?
Yes,
Yeah,
1,000
currently
times, yes.
playing The Witcher.
Alright, try not to say anything.
There's a
Fuck the
part in
Griffin.
it where see how Ciri's
Aye,
the lady of
exactly.
space and time, and she can basically cut about different like realms and stuff like that at will. We'll see where she goes. She goes somewhere to hide, and she comes back, and she's talking about it, and she basically goes, "Oh, it's fucking like there's no elves. It's just humans, and they've got it's like all this futuristic technology." And she basically describes a cyberpunk universe.
And that's what they actually came out and said that was like the first teaser for Cyberpunk 2077.
It was the first teaser for Cyberpunk 27, but CD Projekt Red also released when people found out that they were making Cyberpunk, and cunts were like, "Yeah, Ciri crossover. There's going to be a mission or couple of missions in it where you're going to meet Ciri and have to help her get back to Geralt." And they were like, "No."
Aye.
They were just like, "Not going to happen." And
You
they
know
were
how
like,
they operate? They'll cut it. They'll cut it so that it'll surprise them. They'll say it's not happening, and then they'll put it in. And they'll be like,
"You bastards." See, I hope they do.
They'll put it
I
in
hope
as
they
like
do.
it'll be like a very throwaway thing. Like you'll just meet someone in the pub, and they've got that's a big sword on your back. Don't touch my sword. And then you look over, just a bleach blonde hair.
Like,
I'm not gonna lie, like I wasn't entirely like hyped for Cyberpunk 2077 because I was like, oh, it's a cool idea, but I was never really into it. And then I watched Altered Carbon and was like, this is all I want.
Do you know why the reasons I get so excited for Cyberpunk is when I read the interview that they done with the guy who created it, like wrote the books, the Cyberpunk stories, and like wrote that universe. That's where they get the inspiration, because the CD Projekt Red are basically doing the same as The Witcher. They're taking a well-established book series and bringing it to video game. And the guy who wrote the books in an interview with, like, I can't remember who the interview was with now, but he was talking about how for the past 6 months he had been working with CD Projekt Red, like on it, and he says, I can't wait to get my hands on it and be walking about in my own world. So see, like, that's how well they've portrayed it. Like, the author of it is like, this is amazing. He's like, do you know what I mean? Walking around corners to see things that he pictured in his mind.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And stuff like that. So that's what made me really look forward to Cyberpunk. Was when
One
I
of the
read that.
biggest games I'm looking forward to right now is probably Diablo 4. Like, when I seen the teaser trailer, I almost had a heart attack. Like,
I don't like the Diablo games, but a lot of people love them. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's no my thing.
Sorry, my dog came in and I had to close my door again.
But again, Diablo's, I see as historical fantasy. Do you know what I mean? So
exactly.
it falls into that genre.
I'm not one of these people, but I see these people out there. Like, I'll say, "Oh, I played X game or Y game," and they'll be, "Oh, you've never played it? Oh, wait, how are you living? How do you breathe? What is your malfunction?"
How do you
And I'm just
exist?
sitting there like, what? And then somebody like you yourself, you're like, "I'm not a big fan of Skyrim." I'm just like, all right, fair enough. If it's not your game, it's not your game.
Completed
there's
all the
plenty
Metal
of games
Gears
out
at least 30 times each bit.
What do you mean? What do you mean that you've never touched Diablo?
I played Diablo 2 for a wee bit a few years ago, and I just really didn't like it. I really didn't like it, man. There's
I've
too
not
much
touched
going
it
on
in
at the
a
one
band.
time. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't like the
Hang on a second.
the real timeness of Diablo, how it's all happening, and if you're not quick enough. And see the keyboard? I have to look at the keyboard to see where the keys are. So see in Diablo, and you've got all these different keys, and all the things are attacking you. See when you're you're going, I need to press. What do I need to press? I need to press 3, 4, T and X. 3, 4, you are dead. Fuck. That's my Diablo experience. Do you know what I mean? That's why I like to play XCOM and stuff like that, because the game waits on you. It's like, right, okay, it's your turn now. You're like, cool, what do I need to press? This guy is, okay, I need to press 2 to shoot. 2. Right, cool. Brings up what he's aiming at. Right, okay, I am tab to change. Tab. Oh.
XCOM 2, it's just basically laughs in 99% chance. Like,
but see the thing is, mate. See the thing is, like the opposite also holds true for XCOM. Like people make a big fuss about missing 99% chance shots.
At the end of the day, it's all about.
It's a dice roll.
Ratios.
It's a dice roll. It's like the way I see it, there's only ever 1 out of 6. Do you know what I mean? So see if it says 1% chance, fucking take the shot. Because I see, like I've hit 1% chances. It's been my last guy, and there's like see the way that in the one you played, enemy, the first XCOM. See the way the wee sectoids can mind link with another guy, and if you kill the source of the mind link, it kills the 2 of them. I remember taking a 3% shot on a guy like that, and it was my last guy and their last 2. 3% shot, boom, hit it, and I'm just like. You're losing my tits, man. Like, yes. It's like I just fun my first Destiny exotic all over again.
See, I played Destiny religiously on the 360.
I played a lot of Destiny 1 on the PlayStation 3, man.
It came to a point where I learned how to, like, before it was a big thing, I learned how to, like,
You played your Loot Cave and all that, I take it?
I played from the beta all the way through. Like,
nice.
I bought the expansions separately. I didn't get them in the thingy.
Was this Jumper Steve Black at the start of the podcast?
No,
I'm just noticing this like dark outline on the back, and I'm like,
I think he's already got a lampshade on it.
I think he's away to see if he can smell smoke. Little does he know it's behind him.
It's behind him, aye. So who in chat's up for some Card Against Humanity after the podcast then? We've got a wee bit to go. We've got 20 minutes to go to the end of the podcast. Viper, you're going down the road to Edinburgh, so you'll not be there. That's fine. But Yangi made up a pack the day. A questionable pack for Cards Against Humanity. So we'll play some of that tonight.
Did you find the source of the smoke smell?
Nah, mate. I was away doing. You don't need to know what I was doing, but I found the source. Definitely, I definitely found the source. Aye.
I'm going to go for a quick piss. Don't just sit silently until I come back.
So, my second favourite game's Alien Isolation.
Yeah, big creepy
What the fuck you doing?
I thought we were actually going to sit here in silence, just look at these cameras.
Like... just like.
But we will do that. Fuck 'em. Ah, fuck it, man.
I will say, like, one thing I was going to say, like, everyone's jumping on these, like, hype trains of, like, remastered and stuff. When Modern Warfare 2 got announced that it was getting a remaster, I was jumping off the fucking roof, and when it got released, I was like, yes, campaign only.
But then again,
I know that I was the same.
Campaign only.
I was fucking excited.
I can understand why they done it. Like, they didn't really need
Terminal.
multiplayer because
I want Terminal.
They're adding Terminal into Modern Warfare.
Like, I just want Terminal.
The reason they
no
didn't
mummy,
do it is
I want it now.
The reason they didn't do it is because they didn't need to. I mean, they've just recently unleashed Modern Warfare, and they're bringing all the modern maps back, all the old maps into Modern Warfare. They recently brought Rust, Crash, Hideout, Faking,
Containment,
Shipment.
Yeah,
all
Shipment.
Of them have been added, and they're adding more. So that's why I believe they didn't do it, because there wouldn't be much point.
I want to see them add the advanced warfare maps and just watch as people forget they've not got the exosuits anymore and just jump off the map. I think that'd be the best part.
Puppy.
Don't know where my puppy's gone.
The last good COD game for me was Black Ops 3. I don't know why. It felt like an old COD game, but with like jetpacks and shit. But it was still like really good. The
last good COD game for me was probably Titanfall 2.
The last COD game I had fun with and enjoyed was COD Ghosts.
Ghost was a solid game.
Ghost was
that's
good.
A controversial statement.
I really
Infected on Ghosts.
It had the aliens. Infected was really good. That's what I enjoyed about it. It was a different version of like zombies, different horde mode and that. It was really fun.
I loved it. Like, see, like, defending the drill and that. Oh, I loved it.
I really
that
liked
aspect.
that, man.
Like, there was an actual goal, whereas, like, zombies, it's just, like, how long can you survive and shit.
There was a background level up system that was permanent as well that came with a further DLC. It was like you gathered teeth. I think it was.
Yeah, you gathered teeth.
And you could fucking level up your character in the background with your teeth, so he wasn't like zombies. You would always start at the same level, whereas in Infected you could be getting in it like, do you know what I mean? Getting in pretty strong, so you're like, it was really good. Infected was damn
so you could just blast through the fucking first 2 levels, man. You know what I mean?
It's why they ones like you
boss.
you totally need to get a bunch of PS3s and a LAN to play something like that again, but it's totally not out the question. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, one of my favourite games right now was probably 7 Days to Die. Like,
I love that game.
I never thought I would enjoy it because when
Never
you look
played
at it,
7
let's be
Days
honest,
to Die.
when you look at it for the get-go, it looks rubbish, right? When you look at it from a standpoint, it looks rubbish, but see when you play it and you get like immersed in it,
Yes.
it's brilliant. It's basically Minecraft meets zombies, and it's
I'd
a zombie
say-
apocalypse.
Yeah,
And
I'd say it's only good.
Amazing.
I'd say it's only good with like multiplayer and stuff. So
Aye,
if you're
if
playing it
if
yourself,
playing
it's
it
quite
yourself,
hard.
It's really hard.
For me, I've got it on PlayStation, but nobody plays it. But I still like enjoy like just getting in and dying. You know what I mean? Like, it's a solid game.
That's how I felt all the way through this quarantine. I just love to just go in and die. You know?
Yeah.
Wake me up when it's all over. What do you mean it's 2024?
Oh, fuck, is that the time already? Jesus.
2024, they're only calling it half time.
Yeah, who knows? In September that could be halftime. So, what's that? It's coming back in winter. What's that? We're about to lose the over 65 population. Oh,
Bye, Grant.
It's a rough time we're all living in nowadays. But
I wouldn't mind it if it wasn't the fact that the sun's like, oh, what's that? You can't come outside.
Like Piers Morgan made a good point, right? But I'm going to amend what he says, right? Piers Morgan says, during 100 years ago, we were asking a generation to go die in France, right? And you're getting asked to watch your telly, right? Let's just rephrase that to be over 100 years ago, we were asking a generation to go die in France. Pornhub are giving you a 2-week free subscription. For fuck's sake.
Here's Morgan.
we're giving you a month.
Pornhub are actually under a lot of pressure.
Oh, is it a month free subscription
Yes,
they've
they
upped it to
Is
now?
it? I
Fucking
need to
hell.
look that up. Jesus Christ, that's my night sorted.
The excuse to be bored,
is-
know what I mean?
Like that was the thing is, there was somebody that said that when somebody posted a tweet about the speech saying that we were asking people to go fight in France, and somebody just retweeted it saying 3 simple words: "You didn't ask. We were told."
True.
If we had a choice, do you know what our words would say? Take your L95 and shove it up your ass. I'm not fighting your war.
Take you L95 and shove it up your ass.
It's just
man. I like the Lee Evans joke, like wars would never happen if we only elected pregnant women as our presidents. And our prime ministers, do you know what I mean? Any causing any shit, man, they'd just be like, right, I don't know this fucking pish. I was stressed enough as this. Fucking just quit it. Fucking get on with it.
Just imagine NATO, like the big chief standing there, and they're like, "Oh fuck, here comes Linda." Right, be cool.
You see, like,
Everybody be sound.
What's her face? The woman who's like, she's the German one who basically is the president of the UN. Merkel. Can you just imagine that, like, if that was the case, just every time she came into the chamber, all you heard was bam 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 ba-dum, bam ba-dum. But like, actually, so someone pointed something out, and it was an article I saw as well. It was like, so the countries that are dealing like the best with like the COVID, like Scotland, are dealing with it okay. Like Finland, they're doing okay. New Zealand,
Because every
they're doing
cunt
great.
avoids every cunt else anyway in Scotland, man. Junkie.
But not only that, people have noticed is like, here, all these countries are led by women. Have you noticed that the countries that are led by the main men are doing questionable things, like asking people to inject themselves with disinfectant?
We all need to take a
Like-
fucking leaf out of Finland's book. We really do.
I know. Did you not see on the coronavirus charts? On the coronavirus charts for
-1.
Finland, their deaths was -1.
-1.
I'm like, yeah, they're winning this by a long shot.
Aye,
It's no, that's
Finland's
not what I
getting in
meant.
it.
That's not what I meant, right? But that's why the byproducts of how they're running their country, they know. Do you know what I mean? None of the elected officials in Finland are over 35 years old. They're all
Yeah.
fucking. Do you know what I mean? Like the
Aye.
prime minister, they're led by a woman as well. But she's 31 years old. Do you know what I mean? So she's
Yeah.
in touch with the current generation. Why the first things that their government done when they brought in is why the things that I've preached for fucking almost 10 years. I hate the 95, right? I was a spark, I earned good money, but I hate the fucking 95 of life, right? Like, can you imagine if unemployment would go down, and happiness would go up, if you were like, right, okay, we're going to double your wages in half your time.
Yeah,
You work, instead of a 30-hour week, you're working a 19-hour week, but you're getting the same wage.
yeah.
The economy would go up, people would start buying more shit, they'd live more comfortable, they could work 2 jobs if they wanted. Do you know what I mean? Like,
But it's because you actually have time to go and buy shit.
because you'd
Aye,
actually have
but
time.
there's the thing,
And
like,
they actually
speaking-
done that in Finland.
I
Actually
do
done
a
it.
lot of this in college. Like I do HND financial services, and we talk about this a lot. It's
How
one
does
of
it
the
feel
things-
knowing that
it's
all
a
your classes and
finely-
all your tuition's going towards online calls? How do you know that most of your money's going to Zoom right now?
I mean, I've already been scalped with my HND because they've cancelled the exam, so they've just went here. We're doing all your stuff on your previous assessment. So there you go. Not yourself.
Oh, ouch.
But,
Oh,
that's
lucky.
what they were
Mine's
taught, but, like, when it comes to
just
stuff
like you. Yeah.
it creates, it is to be a finely tuned formula, because if you do one thing out of place, it could destabilize your entire country.
Yeah, that's why it's why it's a byproduct of globalization as well. Is like if one country falls, they offer. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Aye.
Like the Western world would literally collapse if one
Aye,
of the
like-
big
like-
Western
like-
countries collapsed.
Aye,
Yeah,
like
it's all
Boris
seizing
Johnson getting
opportunities.
coronavirus.
Like,
It's fucking
One of my
dodgy
fa- one
bit,
of my-
man.
one of my favourite, it's not even a joke actually, it was on Twitter, like one of my favourite tweets that I've ever seen of all time was this lassie. She was an American high school student, and they had a German exchange student, and the teacher was sitting talking about history, and they were talking about the American dream, Martin Luther King, like, you know, American culture as it is. And they turned round to the German kid, and they turned round and they said to him, so do you guys have like that sort of opportunistic manifesto, or like do you have that sort of opportunistic culture? Did you just have a dream? And he turned round and he just went, well, we did have a German dream once, but nobody liked it.
It is really like funny when you look at it that side of things. Just everyone sweeps the bad shit under the rug. Like, it's forgetting about that.
No,
Just what? Who?
That's the thing, like,
It's
you
no
see
modern
all this-
Germans' faults. Know what I mean? Do you
Oh,
know
it's
what
no,
I mean?
it's no.
you should remember what you did, but not glorify it. Like, you see
Well,
these people
if
in
I'm
America
right-
that'll still get Confederate statues, and you're like, they're glorifying this stuff from the past. Like, no, you should remember what you did. I mean, even General Lee, the head of the Confederate forces, turned around and said, when this is over, I want nobody to celebrate me. I want nobody to tell me to like celebrate what I did. Because even he knew he was in the ring. Like, they folded up his flag and they went, burn it. I don't want it.
Well, if I'm right, like I'm pretty sure the swastika is now illegal in Germany. However, I'm
rightly
pretty sure there's
so.
actually a Nazi museum in Germany.
Aye, but that's
But
under
rightly so.
That's under as a, would you call
Aye.
it? Sort of
That's
under
what you
as
should
a
do.
It's not prehistoric. It's under as a cultural exception.
Aye, it's a piece of history,
Prehistoric.
you know what I mean?
This
You
is a
can't destroy it.
prehistoric swastika. You remember when the dinosaurs were Nazis?
History teaches us like without having to do it ourselves what's bad and what's good. Do you know what I mean?
Prehistoric
get it.
swastika, just a caveman with a signed copy of Mein Kampf.
Aye, you get into
Sorry,
actually
bring it
history.
back to him. Just went, there you go.
What are you saying, Antony?
You get into the Natural History Museum and you see a fucking, I don't know, skeleton of a dinosaur. You go, that's fake. The guy comes up to you and goes, no, it's no. It's history. You can't just remove it. You can't destroy it. You know what I mean? You can't get rid of it. You need to keep it somewhere. So you
Well,
keep it
it's
in the
true.
museum.
Aye, you keep it in
Exactly.
the museum so as people can come see it.
Because those swastikas about the streets in Germany, you know what I mean?
It's not as if, like, in the museum, it's there so that it can make the public aware of things that were long past. It's not as if they're like going down with a Nazi flag, going down Germany Main Street, swinging it. Yes, I did
Germany
say Germany Main Street. I couldn't think of
I don't know, there's one street in Germany.
I'm pretty sure if you go to Germany, you know, like a big all the buildings, I'm pretty sure they've still got all the eagles and stuff.
Papa says, lately I've been watching World War II documentaries. It's all told by the victors. That's just the victors write history. But there's a lot of YouTube channels that are covering different things from the different perspectives.
I mean, if you're looking for something World War II wise, look up History Scope on YouTube. And I've seen two of his videos. I've seen both the Nuremberg trial and the Tokyo trial. They were both, if you're known, the Nuremberg trial was basically when they put the
Nazi war criminals on trial.
War criminals on trial, and the Tokyo trial was for the big Japan leaders during the Japanese Empire. Both of them are really interesting, and he does actually try to say it from like a a neutral standpoint.
I mean, like, I think like they should also tell, like, one thing a lot of people don't know is the reason we went to the moon is Nazi technology, rocketry, Nazi technology.
No, the V2 rocket.
Believe it or not, do you know what else is Nazi technology?
The Autobahn.
Aye, Fanta.
Fanta.
No, genuinely, orange
Fanta.
Nazi technology.
Aye, no, wait. So with this,
Right.
that's Nazi.
Carbonated soda.
Get the fuck out of my room, man.
The Nazis created fucking, I think they banned cola or something like that, wasn't it?
I heard it was they banned Coca-Cola and made Fanta as a substitute.
Coca-Cola made Fanta as a substitute so they could sell it in Germany to the Nazis.
Do you know what else? Do you know what else is Nazi technology? Volkswagen.
Volkswagen.
The jet engine's Nazi technology as well.
Yep. Did anyone else notice though that after World War II, Hugo Boss just kind of went?
Aye, like, see, that's one thing I know a lot of people do know is fucking the Nazi SS uniforms. See those the famous fucking guys that wore the black uniforms? They were designed like fucking, those uniforms were designed by Hugo Boss.
Hugo designed them before. Hugo Boss designed them before all this stuff happened. So like, he was probably sitting there going like, "Hey, Germany wants their officers to look really cool. So let's make them look steampunk as hell. Oh, this wasn't a good idea. This was a bad business choice. Oh no."
One of my favourite World War II facts is got to be Sweden. Right, this is how ballsy Sweden were. Now they had 250,000 Swiss riflemen, right? And I believe it was Hitler. It was one of his higher ups had walked up to had messaged the Swiss military leader and went, what would you do if I were to invade your borders tomorrow? 500,000 German soldiers. He just basically turned around and said, shoot twice and go home. They were never touched during the entirety of the war. That's what I'm saying.
Because basically the German guy was asking, "Yo, see if I turn up, will you fight us?" And see if the Swiss said no, then the Germans would have turned up. But see, Switzerland is basically a natural fortress. Do you know what I mean? The Swiss would have just
surrounded by mountains and shit.
They would have just retreated up to the top of a mountain, set up some machine guns, and says, "Moan up, Jerry."
It reminds me back in school when somebody would go, "I come ahead," you're like, "Right, let's go," and they'd be like, "No, I was just kidding on." That's what it reminds me.
It's fine as well. You can't really cut Switzerland off to the rest of the world. They'll just survive on chocolate. You'll be fine.
Yeah, because Switzerland actually have all the bridges entering into Switzerland are all rigged with explosives, and all it takes is one button.
A nice wee fucking the fact about Switzerland is it's the only landlocked country in the world to have a navy. And it's because the Rhine starts in Switzerland and goes all the way down through Germany and into the sea.
They've got big lakes and that as well.
They've got big lakes and that. Aye.
Do you know one thing that always fascinates me? One thing that always fascinates me about people like, when they're thought about is their life outside of space. Personally, there's got to be. There's got to be. Mm-hmm. I mean, even if it's a 1 in 99 chance, there's still a chance. I mean, the playground's far too big for you to be the only way on it. You know what I mean?
Have you ever heard of panspermia?
the funniest thing about it was, right?
Have I ever heard of panspermia?
What?
Panspermia.
I think I have. I've heard that somewhere.
Panspermia is the theory that life was seeded by something else, like an asteroid hit Earth and brung the like natural fucking ingredients for life in that.
Aye.
I think if you've got panspermia, I think you need to go to the doctors. Like,
Yeah.
But like,
that's
it also fucking like, can you imagine like the human race are going out and see when we're going between like Earth and Mars on our spaceship and stuff like that? We're going to throw our jobbies at the back of the space. Do you know what I mean? So what happens if a wee Earth
That's what I'm going to do.
a wee Earth jobby fucking manages to find its way to some planet, man? Fucking jobby lands on the planet and it just like the way the farmers do, it fertilises the field, man. We seed another life form on fucking some other planet.
One of my funniest ones is like they go like that. They're like, oh, these aliens, like, who built the pyramids? How did they make the pyramids? And I'm just like, you really don't know history. And they're like, why? Well, like that. Because if you looked into your history, you realise how they built the pyramids. And I'll give you a hint, it was not a good way.
There's theories now, like how they built it, because we've never seen how they built the pyramids. We don't know. Do you know what I mean? So like
Aye.
looking at it from a modern standpoint, we're like, they don't have any modern material. They must have been like putting it on their backs, humping it up. Do you know what I mean? Like saying, oh, they built a ramp and all that. But there's like a lot of theories coming out nowadays that they could have used. See how we use water locks, like at the Panama Canal, to lift ships up.
Yeah.
They're saying that they could have done that because they could have made put sheep bladders and that, tie sheep bladders and that to the outside of the blocks, and they cover the outside of the pyramid, like build out of the pyramid and basically put water in, and they've got these gates and they can lift it up, and when it's each gate they fill it up with water, open it up, fill the next one up with water, and it basically just lifts the blocks up, and then there's a pool at the top of the pyramid, and then they put the next block on, fucking lift the pool up, do you know what I mean, and fucking keep going, drain the pool, put it in it. They could have done it that way.
What would you do if you went to the pyramids and there was just manky Egyptian water in there? You just find it and it's just brown, it's been sitting there for ages, and you're like, oh man, that's nasty.
One of my favourite ones.
A space poo just floats past, like.
Somebody said that like aliens built the pyramids and all that. Well, what if they actually did, but not in the way you think? Like, imagine they actually came down with like a hard hat and dungarees and a tool belt and just kind of went, right, let's get a graft on.
Right,
let's get the graft on, boys, man. Need to have this done before those fucking monkeys wake up in the morning.
You're fucking late, Jerry.
Like, have you seen Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Yes.
Aye, yeah.
What they don't tell you, right, is 100 years prior to the pyramids getting built, the spaceship came down. These guys came off and went, we're here to do the initial administration for the pyramids building. Just making sure all the paperwork was in check.
Like, my favourite thing about the full Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, right, is the fact that the reason Earth is getting blown up isn't because they hate the humans or they want to prove they're the superior species. No, it's to make way for a more way. That is like, would you blow up Alderaan for Lord Vader? Like, sorry, mate, we had to make a U-bend on the M25.
Hold on. Then again, right, there's another thing that I sit here going, right? So people are like, oh, they didn't have the technology to build all this stuff, all that, right? And then can we just point out on YouTube right now, there's one guy with a stick building shit like this. Hold on. Fucking Discord on my phone.
Brilliant. Amazing.
Switch my... Look, there you go. Look what he's building with one stick. And we think we couldn't build the...
Is that your fucking house? If you get another house inside your house? What's that?
No, like... Right, if any of you guys here take part in the Devil's Lettuce, then you probably know what this channel is. But it's literally just a guy who just sits and builds things with his bare hands. Look, it's two guys now. Oh no, when did the next guy come along? Oh, the illusion
manpower.
It's
like they build it a mud hut or whatever.
Yeah, but look, if I go to the end of the video, right? They built that.
Aye,
but if you think, right, the pyramids are one of the tallest objects or tallest buildings in like Egypt or Africa even, right? They're like fucking tall. They're 100 feet, 200 feet tall. They're one of the biggest pyramids. You know what I mean? If you think, how long did it take them to build that by hand?
Do you know an interesting fact I like about the pyramids as well is, do you know, we are closer to the Romans in time frame than the Romans were to when the pyramids were first built.
Speaking of, actually, I've got one that will fuck with your perception.
What, a pyramid?
The Queen and Marilyn Monroe are the same age.
Holy shit! They will.
But which one?
That would be really.
They were both born in 1926.
The
But which
Queen's
one would
still
you
a horny cow.
They're both just as racist as each other as well.
Yeah, you think about it, the Queen's still gagging for it, right? See the way
Yeah,
she looks at Prince Philip, right? She's honestly, man, she's still gagging for it, even at this day and age.
Philip, would you like to make another heir?
Philip, would you like to go to bed tonight? You know what I mean? Like, fucking...
Yangi's just put pure imagine coming across that on a hike though. And like just imagine that, like you're just abandoned this shipwrecked island, you just come across like a 4-story penthouse, you're like, am I in The Sims? I'm gonna need to establish a
he's got a green diamond above his head.
Oh fuck, I need a shit.
Don't worry, we'll build you a working bidet so you can flush your shit, but then we'll use that shit and launch it into space and you'll create a new civilization on the moon. And then 200,000.
What always fascinates me is like tribes. Like there's still tribes out there. There's people who have not been contacted by civilization.
There's one famous one for Senegal Island. Island, yeah.
The Christian guy, the missionary who ended up getting
it's like,
a body full of
how you
arrows
doing?
from
Have you heard of Jesus?
There's literally 8 people that have went, like, cunts have went, like, oh, I'm going to go and see if I can make contact with these, do you know what I mean? Just some cunt for the scheme, like, do you know what I mean? And they're
Don't get me wrong, I think some cunt for the scheme would have the best chance, because if they shot an arrow at me, you fucking did, wouldn't they? He would be the only man with the balls to offer the shaman a square
Smashes a bottle of bucky on the side.
Like, could you imagine that? Like, he cultural. And the next time, like, a missionary visits, they're all wearing like Bergos trackies and fucking.
Have you ever seen like videos of them going to the tribes that they've contacted humans but very lightly? You ever seen people go there and they take like bars of chocolate and the cunts are just like, oh, gauge the chocolate.
Like, who the fuck is this?
No, I mean, you can just imagine some cunt fucking for the scheme turning up in Senegal Island with a fucking bottle of bucky, man, like that. Try this.
It's fucking scary, but right, because they know something that we don't know, right? They've got stories to tell, and we want to know their stories,
They
right?
know how to survive. Like they
know how to survive
in the wild.
See if
How
we
many
were to
people
go out
in
into the
this
middle
chat
of
can say that.
if we were to go out in the middle of a fucking forest, right, and just say, right, fucking strip down naked, fucking go find a tree to live in, right? How long did we would survive?
It was Naked and Afraid, and they lasted 21 days.
Aye. We'd not even last a month, right? They've been going at it for like what, fucking like millions of years, no millions, like fucking hundreds of thousands of years. Something that we Sentinel Island. See the videos of them out on the beach, like, throwing like
rocks at helicopters and that.
And rocks at helicopters and shit.
Could you just imagine them screaming, "Be gone, Sky Demon"?
I bet they're hiding something. But I mean,
You just get like the guy in the helicopter pilot going, "Davey, is that cunt flinging bricks at us?"
Could you imagine, right? Like, see if like we end up invading the island. What would you do if all of a sudden they just put the like the spears and bow and arrows down, and then you just see one of them clear a bit of dust and press the button, and just.
Or the helicopter pilot's just like that. Davey, how are you govern?
Could you just imagine? Maybe the real reason they don't is to find it is because of their own lavish economy. Like look, Wakanda. Like you walk in and you just see
they've actually got vibration
driving by in a brand new Range Rover.
There's a secret society fucking living underground in fucking Senegal Island, and they're using them the way cunts used to use lepers in the Middle Ages, man. Put lepers at the door and they can't all want to come near.
Look at him. Look, imagine the guy that they actually killed and walked up to him like, he's only wearing North Face. What a peasant. He's not even worthy of dying here, man.
At the funeral, they actually just give you a small loan of $1 million.
And Papa Bear, I've seen that picture. Papa Bear's in the chat saying there's a picture he has says in a plane with hundreds of arrows in the bottom of it, and that was when it was flying over. That just tells you not only is there hundreds of them, but they're skilled enough to hit a plane with a bow.
How fucking scary is that, by the way? Like, how scary is that?
I'm
There's
quite
people
an
out there that
accomplished
can do that.
and I can't even do
Yeah,
that.
could you imagine being on that plane? Kimmy's like, oh, this is a
Fuck
lovely
me,
flight.
man.
I'm so happy that this flight from Newcastle to Glasgow is taking so. You listen slowly. The
Aye.
background. You hear gup 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 gup.
Holy shit,
gup,
there it's
gup.
there. What?
Oh, did you Google it?
There it's there, look at
Yeah,
that.
wait till you see this chat.
Fucking hell.
Fucking hell. Holy shit.
You know what brings us onto the topic? What if they've got an underground like temple thing, right? And brings us on to his next topic, right? It's National Alien Day. It's like Alien versus Predator, whatever. Imagine they've got an underground temple like the Predator
Yeah, he's
temple
like
in Alien
some
versus
people.
Predator. Just set with traps and shit. It's just underground city.
What if that island is actually like the real life Jumanji?
It's a
Maybe that's
fucking
what it
video
is.
game, mate.
Right, we're 10:05 anyway, so we've done our hour. We're going to go play some Cards Against Humanity now. Yangi's in chat, he's the one that created it, so we're going to jump into the IndiScots voice chat, just jump into the Killy Shite Kebabs one, if you're coming to play, and we'll see you all there in a couple of minutes. I just need to take the stream down, change the title on that, and we'll be straight back up. Catch you
Have
soon,
fun,
guys.
lads. I'm about
Thank
to
you
go
to
drive for 3 hours.
Thank you to Viper for joining us as always. Thank you to Maniset for coming and joining the server and being a part of that this week.
Thanks
This was
very much. It's
great.
been a pleasure.
And thank you to Antony as well for doing the same. Cheers for joining, guys.
Aye. Maybe off.
Catch you soon, folks. See you in 5 minutes for Cards Against Humanity. We built this network on Scots with soul. We built this network on Scots and soul. Built this
know anymore.
network on Scots with soul.
So I remember fucking like 10, well, no 10th can, but like 7th can, I just stood up and I was like, whoa, fuck me.